The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take that away from you. Good morning, rainbows and sunshine. New day to start anew. New beginning and new hope. Another day to acquire something wonderful as you are tuning to our school on air in grade 7 English. I hope everybody's still fine, alive, and doing great at this moment as you come and join me and enjoy another 30 minutes of educational episode with your radio teacher. This is Sir Jerry A. Ragmac Jr. from Rizal National High School, renowned for its battle cry, "It's here where heroes are made." Do you still remember our golden rule the last time I was your teacher on the air? If that's a yes, that's great, for I want you all to remember that until we end this episode. Again, that is LISTEN. Listen. L. Look for a comfortable place where you can hear me as I teach via radio. I. Immerse yourself in learning the lesson by avoiding distractions like unnecessary use of cell phones and the like. S. Stay focused until the end of the episode. T. Take note of the key ideas that will enable you to perform properly the tasks provided. E. Evaluate your understanding of the lesson by performing the activities with your parents' guidance. And N. Never forget to have fun while learning. Before we begin with another meaningful learning experience, let us recapitulate your previous lesson. Last time you learned about direct and reported speech, right? You were able to realize how significant the appropriate use of these types of speeches, especially when engaged in conversation. You were taught that passing a message without changing its thought is very essential to avoid misunderstanding. And when you use the same words a person used, enclosed in quotation marks, you are using direct speech. Exactly. On the other hand, when a statement focuses on the content of what was said, not on the use of the exact words, you are using indirect or reported speech. Now, if you understand that, give yourself a pat on the back, for that is amazing. Surely, you were able to realize the importance of being familiarized with the tenses of the verb as well, especially when using indirect or reported speech. So dear grade 7 learners, if you have spare time, go get the old English book your parents have stored in their drawers and make yourselves bookworms. I bet you are now ready to grasp new information as we all together believe that education must continue. Without further ado, let me again remind you that your scores still have the chance to improve for as long as you listen.
Coronavirus is most likely to spread from person to person when we come into close contact with one another. We can all help stop the spread by keeping our distance. This means do not shake hands or exchange physical greetings, and wherever possible, stay at least 1.5 meters away from others. It's also really important to practice good hygiene, especially after being in public places. Together, we can help stop the spread and stay healthy. Visit health.gov.au to learn more.
This is once again your teacher broadcaster, Sir Jerry, back for a new lesson for the 6th week of the quarter. Brace yourselves as you are about to learn how to use phrases, clauses, and sentences appropriately and meaningfully in varied contexts, called from the activities on your learning activity sheets based on the most essential learning competencies. Have you ever encountered a group of related words without a subject and a verb? Would that be possible? If your answer is yes, you are correct, and we call that group of related words as a phrase. To define, a phrase is a group of words that stands together as a single unit, typically as a part of a clause or a sentence. For you to understand further what a phrase is, let me introduce you to two of its kinds. First, a noun phrase. A noun phrase is consisting of a noun and other related words, usually modifiers and determiners, which modify the noun. A noun phrase serves the same purpose as a noun. That means it can be the subject, the object of the verb or the object of the preposition. Let's have this sentence for example. Victoria had a weak heart. A weak heart is a phrase, a noun phrase to be specific, where the noun heart is introduced by a determiner or article a and modified by the adjective weak. Again, in the sentence, Victoria had a weak heart, the noun phrase is a weak heart. Correct! The next kind of phrase is a verb phrase, a combination of main verb and its auxiliary or helping verb. Some examples of helping verbs are is, are, am, be, has, have, do, does, may, might, can, shall, and will. In the sentence, the shot did not scare Maria. Can you tell me the verb phrase? The answer is, did not scare. That's right. But why? Because the main verb scare is modified by a helping verb did and an adverb not. Did you get it right? I am positive about it. Now, dear learners, let's talk about clause. A group of words in a sentence which contains a subject and a predicate is called a clause. There are two basic kinds of clauses, the independent clause and the dependent clause. The independent clause can stand by itself as a complete sentence, while a dependent clause cannot stand by itself as a complete sentence. It can only be a part of a sentence. Remember this set of words. When the president spoke, everybody was listening. Let me repeat. When the president spoke, everybody was listening. Which part of the sentence do you think is the independent clause, or the one that has a complete thought? Can you tell me your answer? That is right. Our independent clause is everybody was listening. Therefore, our dependent clause is when the president spoke. Here is another example. I went to the pharmacy where I purchased personal protective equipment. Which do you think is the dependent clause and which one is the independent clause? Yes, you are right. I went to the pharmacy is the independent clause since the thought is already complete. It makes total sense. It can already stand as a sentence. While where I purchased personal protective equipment is a dependent clause since the thought is not yet complete. It still cannot stand alone. It still needs to depend to other set of words to complete its sense. Hence, dependent clause. We are done with phrases and clauses. This time, let's talk about sentence. A sentence is made up of words and expresses a complete thought. Remember that in order to express a complete thought, a sentence must contain a subject and a predicate. A sentence conveys a statement, a question, an exclamation, or a command. Again, that is a sentence. There you have the definition of phrases, clauses, and sentences. Just remember, in identifying phrases, clauses, and sentences, you have to look the entire group of words as well as to look for subjects like noun phrases, verb phrases, and connectors used. That was a friendly reminder for us to stay safe amid the threats posed by COVID-19. Are you now ready to have an exciting activity? That's great! This is to tell whether or not you can differentiate noun phrase from that of a verb phrase. So, I believe you already have with you your learning activity sheets. Let us recall the kinds of phrases discussed by answering exercise 1 on your LAS. Read each sentence carefully and identify the phrase. Write NP on the lines provided if it is a noun phrase, and write VP if it is a verb phrase. Please be guided with the given example. Come on, you can do it! Are you done? Wow, very good! But wait, there's more! Let us have exercise 2. Read each sentence carefully on your activity sheets and then circle the correct phrases in each sentence. Write if it is noun phrase or verb phrase before the number. You may now start. I know you're done answering the first 2 exercises, so let's proceed to exercise number 3. Here's the directions. Dependent clauses don't make a total sense. They should be combined with independent clauses to form a complete thought. Your task is to underline the independent clause once and the dependent clause twice in the following sentences. Take your time answering your activity. Good job, dear grade 7 learners! This time you are going to have exercise 4, and here's the directions. Clauses are building blocks of sentences. This means that a single sentence can be made up of a single clause or of several clauses. This time, let us read the selection titled Doing Household Chores and Helping the Family. As we read, you have to underline all the dependent clauses in the selection. Let's begin reading. Doing household chores and helping the family. Any task done at home by a child while on school vacation is a great help to parents. It is kind to help the family do the household chores when there is enough time to do so. Doing simple tasks like washing the dishes and sweeping the floor can be an excellent job. Make plans for the day and schedule time for playing. Learn to program your activities when creating a simple list of the things that you want to do would be necessary. While you do simple tasks at home, it will prepare you to become a responsible and disciplined individual. Each person must be independent at an early age in order to become a successful grown-up. I hope you too have enjoyed reading the selection while searching for the dependent clauses in it. Dear grade 7 learners, I believe you are still enjoying our educational episode, but we still got more for you. Take a look on the given rules and examples under sentences and try to understand it. Finished? Remember those rules as you do exercise 5. Here's the directions. Determine whether the following sentences is declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, or imperative. Write your answer on the space provided and put the correct punctuation to use. Are you done? For your additional activity, check exercise 6. Write a 50-word paragraph about your school activities using the 4 kinds of sentences. Again, declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, and imperative. Don't forget to have fun! I do believe that you have learned something meaningful today. As a final reminder for you, dear learners, kindly accomplish the reflection part on your learning activity sheets. Make sure they will be dropped in the designated areas on the day of submission. Again, this is your teacher on air, Sir Jerry A. Ragmac Jr. from Rizal National High School, famous for its battle cry, "It's here where heroes are made," for School on Air in Grade 7 English. As Benjamin Franklin puts it, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Till the next educational episode, goodbye and enjoy the rest of the day. Promoting education for today's generation. In the road of educating young minds, no learner will be left behind. So come and tune into Radio Escuela.
Karapatan naming mga bata ang mabigyan ng sapat na edukasyon, mag-aral ng mabuti, pumasok sa tamang oras at gumawa ng mga takdang aralin. Mapaunlad ang aming kasanayan at gamitin ng lubos ang angking talino at galing sa mabuting paraan.
Ngayon, isa na akong teacher.
Ako na ang resident doctor sa aming lugar.
Naglilingkod ako